Hello, everyone,
Welcome to DevKami.
and we're back again.
Today only have two of us. Actually, it's because last week we decided that today we may not do it, but why not? Let's do it anyway.
Let's do it.
This is a low effort event.
It's actually for ourselves anyway.
We are not going to turn this into commercial thing because this is our free therapy and we're going used to it. So first announcement, happy holiday prematurely. I know even some of us are not taking the hot 2 day off next week. We still had a long holiday Saturday, then Labor Day is on Sunday, which leads to Monday. Then Hari Raya is Tuesday and Wednesday, which is
might be Monday though. It's not final.
But really, it's not final. Interesting.
Yeah, it's not final. It's that based on the calculation.
Yeah, those thing is reasonably calculated. Oh well, it's a tradition. So if they go by tradition, yeah, reasonable. Then also Wednesday is also May the 4th, aka Star Wars Day. So May the 4th will be with you.
May the 4th.
Yes. So that being said, let's start with our bus corner. There will be a few drama that we will explicitly avoid. Why? Because I have
drama. It's not helpful. It's
yeah, and I
think it's we have to talk about if we can, we need to talk about it sometime.
Yes.
We can't avoid not talking because what we call it for preference falsification, right? So it becomes
correct.
Because we are not comfortable talking about it, so the general people, the general population, we assume that there are no objections.
Yeah. So first one is I don't think there's going to be a Ruby event because it coincides with Hari Raya. So Tristan will give the update lah. So first one. So recently, Travis CI and Heroku actually being attacked as a result. This token being stolen. So GitHub already give the warning to us.
Yep. Yeah, I received an email this morning.
Correct. I think we used to have something on Travis, but not anymore. My day job is on Circle, so I'm lucky, and none of us in our team are using Heroku. So in a way, we are safe. But that being said, update if you can. It's a good practice anyway.
Yeah, check it out lah. It's just in case.
Yeah,
do not read it out in case you have some that were.
So this one is yet another TinyML implementation, which is one of my favorite thing. So what this does is it counts the filler word, the things. So yeah, interesting for me because
this is the one I share this. Do you know what it does?
This thing detect the sound and
so it's sort of like training for us to not do that and in hopefully improve our speech, something like that.
Correct. And I think this is the best, one of the very nice application of TinyML, which I think is awesome. Yeah. Maybe I build it. Let's see. Next one, BrowVM is out. With better support for Apple Silicon and all that. So yeah. Do you use that?
No, I don't use that.
Yeah, it's just interesting as a language.
It's actually it's a very interesting project, but for us, some of us are a bit careful because it's backed by Oracle.
Yeah.
So unfortunately that's the reason why people are getting more careful with it.
Yes, correct.
It's actually not bad. It's from what I follow. I didn't use it, but just following up is pretty interesting.
Correct. Precisely.
It's a backend. It's a
for languages.
JVM backend for multiple languages.
Yeah. And it's awesome because it used to be all the language originally that they are not necessarily very optimized. So one of the approach that being explored is to use JVM, which is at that time, while take up a lot of memory, are reasonably optimized. So and can handle a lot of stuff that the language default VM doesn't do. So BrowVM comes from that lah. Though nowadays, most of the language still use their own VM with a lot of optimization. It's interesting. So let's move on to the next one. Slack had finally released their February 22nd
The incident
report, correct. So
which
you have a
also
summary?
happened to us this week as well. It's
Correct.
most often it's related to misconfiguration.
Correct. So it's a misconfiguration for memcache, from what I understand, right? Okay, can you explain? Do you remember?
No, I didn't read through it. It's that I know it's related to misconfiguration.
Yeah, it's a misconfiguration lah. So as a result, the data it leads to heavier database load because the router did not hit the memcache store early on. So as a result, yeah, this is why they did this lah.
And these are the things that sometimes often within the team is that these are very hard to test against.
Correct.
Because even how it happens, it might be a certain edge cases that didn't trigger or something like that, or
correct.
something we still have to do it, and then just better capture the error early or the incident early then.
Correct.
Yeah, it's no easy way to easily test these things.
Correct. So this is which is why one, you try your best to cover it. Two, you should have monitoring to start warning people to prepare.
And we had a similar issue with some of our stuff this
correct
week, and the conclusion, at least on my side, some don't agree with me, is that the only solution is to look at it regularly.
Yeah, actually, one of the reasons why people try to test all these, try to spend a lot of time thinking about what kind of test from simple load test to
of course the often we test for the golden path, the ideal situation.
Correct, because it's so either because actually I think about it, it's an easy mistake to do in a way, also because we do not know what we do not know. The less experienced the team, the less likely the team will have experience about things like a sudden database load, or the importance of adding indexes, etc. Right? So it depends on the team experience, which is why you need a variety of team. You do not want a monoculture of team.
Yep.
So
it's something that pretty humbling lah, I would say.
Correct. So just know that shit happens, and you try your best to make sure that you don't also, catch the easy shit.
Yeah, and also not it's humbling as in in a way not to let our hubris fly. If everything goes smooth all the time, it's probably detrimental to us.
Correct. So next one is Python 3.11. This post
is the one that is the current release, or it is the next version?
3.11 is the next one. 3.11 is the next one. It's not from the old one. Let me double check again. I think it's the next one because currently it's 3.10.
Yeah, they're talking about a new feature, right?
Yeah, it's Alpha 7. So I like this post because it shows
the current version is 3.10.
Correct. So better error message. So to show you where the error is. Awesome. Nice. Self is weird for me because
I think it's weird because if it comes up in the stack trace, you lose the type definition, right?
Correct.
So instead of calling a sheet. Yeah. But what was the rationale behind this?
Is to write a method to return an instance of the same class. So which is why
I think by self is fine. It's that's why we do it in like Java and stuff, when we do what we call the fluid interface, right?
Yeah. Correct.
And I think I'm not sure. I have to read through it, but isn't if you use a self, then we will lose the in part of the stack trace or something. You lose the information. don't know.
Yeah, but a lot of this is is so that this for type war support lah. So yeah, I just find it weird lah, but it exists lah, just so you know. Then very
I need to read it out. Why they are not using
correct.
the type itself?
Correct.
Check it out.
Next one is but actually I don't know. So if you look here, they have written self are lowercase. Self is the type.
Yeah, I understand. It's
type checking.
the instead, so you can chain the function, right?
Yeah. So yeah, okay. Let's move on quickly. Dynamic type check.
We have nothing in the pipeline anyway, so you can take out type.
Thomas support, we talk about it for a while. We find weird, but
why Tomo? Like, why it is so special? Even YAML wasn't in.
Yeah, correct. The next one that's interesting is exception group. So that so previously when you have an exception, it's the first exception you catch that you get first, then the rest. So this one means that let's say a group of exception is related to one issue, you can just capture this as one time. So, which I think is very cool. So, yeah, it's just useful if for certain type of operation lah. Yeah. But often you do not need it.
Does it capture multiple, or they capture just the first one that triggered? Like, let's say.
As of now, okay, I do not know this one, but previously the syntax doesn't even allow this.
Yeah, it's a new syntax. Previously it was whichever that we based on the sequence of matching lah.
Correct.
Sequence that you declare, so it goes from the top to down.
Correct.
To the bottom.
Correct. So interesting, but I think it's syntactic sugar. I need to understand fully how to use. What's the specific use case? But yeah, I think it can be useful because certain type of error, certain type of exception, it's due to a type of the behavior of a function. So it's the same error anyway. So yeah. Async IO task group so that you can run nested tasks as if even
and
one fails.
They simplify the syntax a bit also.
Correct.
To be honest, the ergonomics for the async, the standard library async isn't that nice in the beginning.
Yes, I know. So finally, performance improvement, which I like. Sooner, I understand why, but sooner or later it's there. And the whole thing is because Python, people always complain Python is slow. So
I think the main complaint is that for Python, most people complain that and also why people reluctant to upgrade from 2 to 3 is that there were no performance improvements.
Yeah, but
I like what I see in terms of the changes after
correct.
After a while.
So they had a lot of improvement compared to 2. So this one is actually the history of PostScript. So which is actually similar to PDF, and the reason PostScript exists is because it's so they can send in the things for the laser printer to print. Well, so yeah, it's designed for desktop publishing lah. So this is actually a history of Adobe PostScript, how it's developed, the origin, and how it works. So yeah,
it's designed for the printer first lah. So originally.
Correct. So because this thing from Park and all that, then it's adopted by different companies.
Actually, I see these words like PostScript compatible or print as PostScript, something like that, but I never really went in to catch up what it is about.
Yeah, it's a format for you. It's a set of commands that you can use to actually tell the printer how to print your thing. And it's actually used on PDF to typeset, and usually PDF can be printed very nicely, as you see, right? Partly because they have some PostScript inside lah. And Kyril from Sina Project actually like to tell the story that he sent PostScript file over the network to talk to the printer in the university because he had no printer at home in the early days. So yeah. So yeah, it's actually very advanced as a language. It's a literal programming language itself. It's Turing complete. It's crazy actually. But next one, Let's Encrypt received Levchin Prize for real world cryptography. Well deserved, because otherwise most people will not adopt HTTPS because it's
and
big hassle in cost.
yeah, it was very expensive back then.
Correct. So yeah. Give me a while. Birdman. This is cool, but I'll drink some water first. So Birdman is actually a neural network.
It's not about capturing birds, right?
Yeah. So it's actually a tool that you can run on your Raspberry Pi and other places, other computer, to actually identify birds. So it uses spectrogram, all that. So what it does is it use I believe it use neural network to identify birds, which is very impressive. Because recently I'm interested in bird watching. So yeah. And these merge two of my favorite thing lah. Three of my favorite thing lah. Deep learning, Raspberry Pi, and bird watching. But the thing is, they actually share birds. So these also share birds across the internet. So I think that's cool. Birdwatcher ID. So you see here.
Unfortunately, there are no birds around my place.
Yeah, harder for your place, but my place. So my place used to be a jungle. In fact, not very far from my house.
I'm facing the factory side. That's the problem.
Okay, they began to be a factory already, but not too far from my house. A bit after the mall and all that. That is actually one of beginning of one of the earliest forest preserve in Malaysia. In fact, in Malaya, actually, in Malaya. Because it's done in the early 1900s, roughly in the 1900s, by the British, of course. Then nowadays, that part of the forest, the earliest part of the forest protection preserve, have been torn down. It's now houses now. There's a small protest, but so the only place now is actually Frame, near my place. So either way, because my place used to be a forest preserve and all that, we still have birds fly around here because they're lost. They did not know that it's now houses. So, and there is some pool, and the septic pool sometimes have fish inside. So you will have the swamp bird inside where the pool are quiet lah. Know what I mean? When they don't process it.
It's not a really all or nothing thing. So we can still have development while we try to allow the current ecosystem to thrive.
Yes, correct.
It's an unintended side effect of that. But I like how we actually, it's not an all or nothing thing. It's we can still have development, but try to at least allow the freedom for this ecosystem to be readapted.
Yes. So one good thing here is Frame is a tourist attraction, so it's less likely for people to develop them. It does happen, but it's less likely lah.
There's less excuses lah.
Yeah. So this one is, as it turns out, there's certain key that is lost when QWERTY are developed. So as it turns out, the reason for that is triple ellipses, and it's actually defined in Unicode. Previously, people used that
the hamburger
in place of
it stays there, the hamburger menu.
Correct, but it used to be used for end of sentence and all that. Not anymore, but this exists long time ago. And I discovered this because, as it turns out, this character exists on Unicode, but nobody knows what it is. So unlike the hamburger, the 3-dot hamburger button thingy, this one exists, but people do not use it for other reasons. People do not know what you use it for. It just happens that the standard exists for mathematical notation. And this thing I inherited multiple times. So nobody remember the angle down zigzag arrow exists. Nobody remember what is this for anymore. So yeah, it's just an interesting story. It's interesting because people have to put this because it's in the standard, but people that do the standard do not remember, do not know why they included there. So and no, you just know that it exists and in the previous standard, therefore they have to bring it in.
Pulling this conversation to a bit off topic is that I was in a conversation about Dune universe, where
Yep.
why humankind no longer remember Earth,
Yes.
and it was so far ago. Like even these things, like even not like I would say within a century, even
Yep.
just within decades, we forgot about a lot of things.
Correct. And this is the small thing. Now, I have some of the. I think this is also one of the reasons why people build command line the modern way, so to say, because traditionally the reason command line exists those days is not just because those commands are printed on paper, therefore you don't have interactivity, but also the fact that those output from a command will be piped to another, can be piped as a consequence because they're simple, therefore they use it to pipe to another output for program. So as a result, command line application in early days, even though with the same capabilities in the 80s, tend to be very boring until the early 2000s. Even though we had the capability to do the dynamic command thing happening, curses exist in early 90s, late 80s, I believe, even. So there's the reason why curses doesn't exist used everywhere, other than the fact that curses is actually hard to use, is also that those command line output will output can be used by other applications through pipes. And I suspect that people forget that people use it this way, right? But I could be wrong. I could really be wrong.
It's very very rarely used outside of code, I have to say.
Yeah. Then also we have things like the forest reserve. I like to talk about. People forgot about it, why it exists. Then evolution is developed in Balayan Borneo, in Sarawak. Let me remember. Evolution, Russell.
For evolution,
The co-founder. No, theory evolution. Theory of evolution.
the Alfred Russel Wallace.
Alfred Russell, correct. And he actually, Alfred Wallace, I'm so sorry, Alfred Wallace. Let me post it here. Alfred Wallace, he also had the same insight when he was in Malay Archipelago. Actually, I believe he do it in Borneo, but he was all around Southeast Asia. So he had the same
He did
insight
it
in
based on Wikipedia. He did it in Amazon first.
Yeah, then he comes to the we call it the Nusantara area. You know what I mean? So they come to this place, then they further toward the theory. So he actually along with Charles Darwin, he is the one that developed theory, and part of theory is developed down here in this area. Random thing, and not many people know about, because a lot of people know about Darwin but not Wallace. So yeah, so just a lot of little things that people forget about.
That's why there's a metal. I see there's a metal called Darwin Wallace metal.
Yep. So yeah, then how computer works and all that, and the fact that I tell people I know COBOL make it sound ancient. Ignore me, I'm insane. Next one is there's nothing anymore actually. I just want to talk about books.
Yep,
So
books. Sorry,
okay.
my computer is not booting because of the NVIDIA driver, so I'm on the phone right now.
This is why
I'm
you use a real
upgrading to
operating
Jammy.
system.
No, the
Okay.
other one is fine. It's the VM
Okay.
because it's a special pass-through thing, so
Okay.
um, it's
Okay.
it's all right. But this other computer is fine. So the main computer is fine. The VMs where I do all of my the microphones and all of the cameras are connected are is not. It doesn't have a
Okay.
display, so I'll be on the phone for a bit.
All right. So the first book I want to talk about, which I recently read, the big confession is I do not remember everything in the book by heart. All right. I did not remember the whole book by heart, but I find the book very useful as a reference because most of the algorithm book that you will read, it will cover these few things. Trees, binary trees. No, they cover something very fundamental.
Sort.
Linked
They
list,
do the sort.
sorting.
Sorting is
Sorting is a
very
big
important
one.
because it's like the whispers of the basic algorithms and data structure.
Correct. So they will cover sorting. Then you will know like all the basic sort, quick sort, and all that. They will cover basic data structure, stack, list, tree, right? Binary tree. Then maybe go to B tree. That go to B plus tree and whatnot, right?
And tree, they expand it to graph.
Yeah, then graph. So basic algorithm books cover these few things. So I already tell you that. This is called advanced algorithm, and it really deserves to be called that because it covers things that generally a bit hard for you to reason. But
Bloom filter is very easy to reason with.
yeah, correct. So, but not everything I would consider as advanced. But for example, pathfinding is actually a bit later in my
I think the
algorithm class
first,
in uni
the part
days.
one is that if if we used to, if we really went through the basic and try to do it, learn it learning how to do hashing
Yeah,
properly, it shouldn't be an issue.
yeah.
I mean,
That being said, the basic is really cover a lot of things you already considered as advanced developers already, right? Because those books already give you at least the big O and the basic thing you need to do. This one covers things that you don't usually learn on those books, but sometimes they do. So, for example, priority queues. It's not just a queue; it's actually a tree. But how do you implement in heaps? You will see this in Advent of Code because we use that sometime.
we use it's in most standard library as well. Python has it.
Yes.
And
here's the cool thing about this book. This book does not focus on implementation. They focus on behavior. So they tell you that this is the thing that
isn't that how you teach algorithm?
Yeah, but a lot of books they will show you the source code, and this is how you write the code. This one
Algorithms
tells
are
you how the
often
API.
fine, I think.
Yeah, this one will tell you how the API work because the reason is precisely how you say it. A lot of these things will have libraries in it, whether it's in standard library or third-party library, but it will exist. So this book focus a lot of
Bloom filter very useful. Priority
Yep.
queue very useful. It's not like saying it's useless. It's balancing.
Correct.
Normally, we seldom have to balance tree ourselves. We seldom do be like the binary search tree ourselves. But radix tree is the tree and radix tree, the string search, and also like the not just radix, like including the like suffix tree. All those things are very useful.
Correct. And then you want the really advanced thing like KD trees. You may not use it all the time, but it's very useful for you to understand, to segment a map and all that. So then similarities. So these books, I like it. I highly recommend because they focus a lot on the API. So do you think I should show the book or maybe?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm going to just give a sample. I actually buy it. Maybe Manning should give me.
I'm still pretty much old school on the big fat algorithm book.
Yeah, I mean this is a fat book. This is a fat book.
Let me find the book.
Let me find a good one that I like. So, blah, blah, blah. Oh, they do have the Python implementation. Interesting. So they see here they focus on the graph and implementation and how it works. I'm going to go to other thing. Am I in the wrong book? Oh no, wrong book. Sorry, I'm opening a wrong book.
The one I have is here, but it's not mine. It's I stole it from the office because I use it to this one.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay, so I opened the wrong book. So So this is on binary tree, blah, blah, blah. Quickly go through that. So how it being used, then the API, what kind of API exists, and they will tell you how the behavior is. So, and this in practice, you want to know algorithm, this is the only thing you need to know because you're rarely going to implement it. You just need, often the point of algorithm book is so that you know the behavior of the library you use and what is the expected behavior. That's the whole point. Everything else is bonus, and implementation helps you. The implementation helps you to explain the behavior. So yeah. So for example, this is KD3. So how it works, how behavior, and you will notice that I quickly go through. There's hardly any code. But they do have GitHub. GitHub do have the actual implementation lah. Oh, this is a different book, but this book do have the GitHub somewhere. So you notice that this is not JavaScript. This is actually pseudocode. So yeah, in short, I highly recommend this book for advanced data structure. If you already have the basic algorithm book, like Chiliang, what's the book that you have?
A big fat introduction to algorithms.
Yeah, once you have the basic book, this is one of those books that add the extra
I think this
stuff
one is
that
enough for most cases.
Correct. This is really advanced stuff. If you want to, you can get it. You will learn more things. You don't have to. It's not something that you must get. It's something that I suggest you get as an upgrade to what you have learned.
Because most algorithm, as long as you learn the basic building block, they are just similar.
Correct. And the point of the whole algorithm is so that you know the big O out of it, and you don't do stupid shit. That's the point of algorithm book, really. And that's the point of algorithm class. So you won't implement those things, but you better know how
when it comes to scaling.
Yeah, correct.
Remember the lunch that we have is that if you just write a normal prototype and stuff, you don't need that.
Yeah.
But in order to scale, then we need to understand, and this thing will give us a better understanding of, especially like how database work, how it's
definitely
optimized on that.
Correct. So this is one book done. The next book, this is Operation Anti-Patterns. So this is a very practical book about DevOps, meaning, and what is DevOps? In short, it's not being a traditional sysadmin. This is actually facilitate.
No, it's the problem is that if you have traditional sysadmin role, it's not DevOps.
Precisely. I'm sorry, man.
If we still need if we still need certain people to provision things for us to do this and that, that is not DevOps.
No,
it's just rebranding. And some words is that some even this day they call themselves SIE because of that. Just modernizing the name. So
correct. So which is why this book covers things like patternistic. So having a person as a barrier, that is not DevOps. In fact, you should not even do that in modern days. What you should do is you should make things simple. You should reduce the process.
Simple, embrace the suck.
Correct.
Let it fail, but remember to recover from the failure.
If certain thing is hard, try to automate it. if you can, right? And the reason to automate is because if certain things are good behavior, you default it in the automation, for example. Then you will have to. Then a lot of these books are not about operation; it's about operation traditional way. You also talk about like how do you build your metrics. How should you build your thing? Because the goal of DevOps is not to provision infrastructure, but also provide information necessary for the development team and business operation team to know the impact of the thing that they do, right? In that way, it is similar to the traditional system, but it's not. It just the old way of doing it is just one subset. The goal of this is to provide information, to automate the best practices, and you are not the one to make decision. You are making it easy for others to make decision and execute the decision. So which is why it also covers metrics and incident handling. How do you handle incident, and how do you handle post-mortem here, and making sure that no one person hold the information. So how do you force people to release information now? This is part of what I call the holiday project in my work, to make it easy to make it so that the developers can have a holiday. So this book covers a lot, and it's not just all the hard thing, and I recommend this for very good reason. So if you look at this, one of chapter 12, I quickly scroll through it. There's hardly any code, just a set of practices. It's good practices. Unfortunately, you just have to trust me on this because I have it from my experience. It's good book. It have good advices. I recommend this. So yeah, DevOps. So anything on your side that is interesting?
Not really.
I'm going to
I've been
stop
watching.
Uh-huh.
I've been watching a lot of videos from CPP Con recently.
What con?
CPP, C++ Con.
Oh, okay. What's
That's it.
interesting?
Nothing really interesting. Just getting to catch up with the old language. Like I got that kind of fatigue, and then might as well just go back to it.
Yeah. No, actually, I like the way to do
There
things.
are a lot of better, safer way to do things these days.
Yeah, correct. It's just that, I mean, right, correct. There's better way to do things nowadays, but my thing is don't be dogmatic about things. But that's just me. So, yep.
Not really.
Then
Just
I have
finding anything to consume. It's not really helpful in terms of work and stuff. Just catching up.
work only need very basic things. Often
No,
work
I
should
need
only
work.
very basic things.
Work, whatever I need for work, it needs to be boring and working.
Yeah, correct. You do not need. Please don't be fancy about work.
Yeah,
That's
it's
one of the things.
we are not on the CPP stack, so that's not related to work. But might be helpful because these days there are some, because we do some we do have to deal with graphical stuff.
Yes, precisely. Oh yeah, which reminds me. Oh well. I just remember. Nothing like I just have constantly have to remind people that don't, you implement something, make sure it's useful, it's understandable, and not fancy. So, and that is hard if you want people that collect.
It doesn't mean that you don't need to put effort. Some people might misunderstand and translate it to, oh, I don't need to care. Like it just simply whack any code and yeah, it works. I go home.
No,
It's not that. Yeah, it's just that do not get distracted. Like
Yes.
what is the priority of the work?
Correct.
It's
If it works lah. Oh, by the way, this junk, ignore me. I just have found 2 junks on my table. I just play with it. So yeah.
I have this junk. A
Nice.
heat sink from yeah. So heat sink sandwich from old speaker.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. I also have 2 more other books. I have Nudge from I have Nudge from, let me pull it. Thank goodness this wire is long. This thing is fucking long. Ta-da! Nudge. I already have this. Good book, but if you want to practice, then there's a harder one. How do you practice thing for one? Then I bought this other book. Bill Bryson always make interesting history. He like to talk things like travel log. Then this one. Tea Time and Storm, highly recommended Goodreads. Then I have a long camera lens just because. Yep.
Tristan back
Choose-
again.
Hey,
Hey,
hello.
welcome back.
Hey.
Nice
Yeah, I got it
earphone.
working.
Nice earphone.
You've seen it for a few weeks already.
Yes. So yeah, then of course Tristan's our stuff with Tristan and Sam will be coming soon. It's in Shenzhen and it's May Day and also it's COVID day down there, so it might be a while, but definitely after
I
Raya.
see.
But is it so?
So-
They finally got stock of the chips themselves. They
Yep.
finally were able to ship them out, but now
Yes.
it's just stocked. Well, it's like everything else. They're stuck somewhere.
Yeah,
Because
because
of,
China is a bit heavy on the COVID control side, lah. So it's the policy, and it's also May Day, so that is a big holiday.
No,
well.
I don't think they celebrate May Day.
Oh, really? They don't, huh?
Right, China
Labor
May
Day, I
Day
think
holiday.
might be for Labor Day.
Labor Day is different day. I think Labor. Okay, it's public holiday.
Yeah.
I remember yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
Things
okay.
might be
Yeah, on the
coming.
May first because I remember some countries they are not on May.
the US Labor Day is not on May the 1st. Interestingly, so US have a different Labor Day than the rest of us. Well, this is why they went to the moon, and we all stay on Earth. Ignore me. I'm just
yeah,
crazy.
and US and Australia. In Australia.
Yes. So yeah, books, cover days, this. Then we have 4-day holiday. Then I'm going to finish Horizon Forbidden West. Highly recommended also if you have a PlayStation.
Yeah, for PS.
Yeah. So it's a good sci-fi, like put it this way. In a way that there is Elon Musk type of characters.
Do you have
that
a?
actually
Do you have
stood out.
Epic Games account?
No, why?
So if you go to Epic Games, I think it's epicgames.com. Every Friday they have a new, like a
free
couple
games.
of free games.
Yeah, that's the only thing they have, right? Now, actually, as it turns out, they do have exclusive for a while because so do you know that there's this game called Overworld. Overworld is by the designer of Civilization 4.
So I'm looking at it.
It previously exclusive on Epic Game Store.
It
and
looked like
also the other-
Civilization to me.
Yeah, because it's from the designer of Civilization 4. So it's available on.
So
I don't know. These days, I still if I'm gonna play Civ, I'm still playing Civ 5.
So Simeng, if you go to, can you go to store.epicgames.com
Yeah.
and then share that? I don't know whose screen are we looking at. Yeah, okay. Yeah, store.epicgames.com.
What the hell?
Why are you in?
I do not know.
What is this? Italian?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you scroll down a bit more. Yeah, the free
Yeah.
games. So the
Okay,
free
these
games
are the
right
free
now
games.
is Amnesia and Riverbond. So if
Yep.
Amnesia apparently is quite popular.
I'll
what do you call
pass.
this,
I know, but I'll pass.
how about Paradigm? Paradigm looks interesting.
I'll pass. Not my
I
type.
remember, if I remember correctly, Amnesia is open source, right? Yeah, the Dark Descent.
Yeah. Correct.
It could be.
It's not the new latest one, but they open source the old
Correct.
one.
Mm.
Oh wow.
And last week was XCOM 2. So that
Yes,
was
I already have XCOM already. XCOM actually take out a lot of space.
And
See,
I don't
this
have
game
time
is
to play
actually
games. I actually bought Dyson's Sphere program last week, but
okay. Then last one,
I don't have time for it.
it's called, what's the name of the game called? It's called Total War. Total War.
Mm.
Another
So
game
I
that is
was-
actually Troy
No, I
Total
was
War is also exclusive on Epic Game Store for a while.
Yeah, Tetris. The one that I was waiting was Tetris Effect, but then it came to Steam. So just wait.
Yeah, it will eventually come to Steam now, so they don't have good reason. Actually, the only reason, the big reason why I actually still Steam primarily because that thing works on Linux, right? The only thing it doesn't work for my Linux space because I don't have this space. That's about it, really.
Mm.
So
Do you
So,
use
I mean,
it?
I can-
Do you?
I was looking.
Do you,
Sorry. Yeah.
do you really
Young?
play the games on the Epic Games?
What? Who?
I'm going to stop.
Who are you asking?
Like a lot of us, like including me, like I just go in regularly to claim free games,
Yeah,
but
same.
I didn't even install the game client.
Yeah. Same.
oh yeah,
Some of them.
talk about
I
game.
don't.
Talk
Yeah,
about
some of them
game,
I don't. I play like I check out, but
Yep.
most of them I don't really play. Some of them, yeah, they just they never get installed at all. But
Okay.
it's still. I mean, they are interesting games. It's just that
At least
right
they are
now.
free, unlike
I-
some of the games that we bought and then
Yeah.
we didn't even install it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do play most of the game that is bought lah. So also the next game that actually just released recently, just because it's a Hari Raya soon, I'm going to share it anyway. It's called the Dune Spice Wars.
Yeah, I saw it, but I don't know. I normally avoid this kind of franchise product.
Yeah, apparently the early review is the early reviewer likes
You know, I've been
it.
burned multiple times. I'm a fan of the Warhammer franchise. I've been burned multiple times.
Yeah.
Is this the old one with the green?
No, this is a
characters?
new franchise.
I actually played the old what was that?
Not the June 2000 thing, right?
Yeah.
No,
on
no,
PS1
no.
actually.
Arrakis. Mm.
So this is a different one. This is
What was that?
a new game.
The green characters were the Ordos. Yeah, I don't know if I've
Yeah.
ever read Ordos in the books. I don't know where
Yeah,
they
no,
came
it's
up
not
with
there.
that.
lah. So they have to twist a lot of stuff. This one, I do not know how far they will go because unfortunately, the book are not necessary. You want to turn the book into a game, it's not always canonical.
I think the book has much less to offer for
Correct.
being an interesting game.
Correct. So it's amazing because
Oh, it's a
in the
4X.
book,
But
in
it
the
looked like
book,
Surviving Mars to me.
it feels like that lah. In the book, the thing is, in the desert, the war is not that long. It doesn't feel that long, and you don't feel have that many faction in it. Know what I mean? Whereas
There are a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
share a
factions,
screen.
you know. You have your
There is, but
Bene
you
Gesserit,
just
you
don't
have
read
your-
about it directly. They are like one guy. They are like one guy.
This one is on sales. I play this a lot.
It's a city.
Oh. It's not even a builder. It's just you put on tiles. If you play board
Yeah.
games, it is like Carcassonne.
Okay.
So it doesn't actually wish anything. Just put tiles. It's just very relaxing.
Yeah, a lot of this.
Yeah.
It's like there's this game that I got on the phone that also on PC. It's called Tiny Town or something. There's no goal. You just stack up your island town, which is actually very nice lah. It's very nice. So yeah, holiday. What you guys plan to do other than that? Sleep.
How long is the
Rush
holiday
deadline,
actually?
Officially,
Yeah, how long is the holiday?
Officially 3 days.
Saturday, Sunday. Then they have the
Saturday, Sunday
law.
doesn't count. It's a Monday and Wednesday.
Mhm.
Yeah, till
But
Wednesday.
some companies
Tuesday?
Tuesday is the Monday is the replacement for the May Day.
Yeah, because
Yep.
of Sunday, right?
Yep, which is on
Like May 1st
Sunday,
falls
and
on.
the Tuesday and Wednesday supposedly it's not really finalized yet. There are
Yep.
2 days for the Hari
Hari Raya
Raya.
itself.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
but
also,
it might falls on Monday, so it will become Monday and Tuesday.
And Tuesday.
But but generally some companies just have a week off.
yep, correct.
Hmm.
So
But
it's
don't
effectively
they
shut down now.
don't they have like isn't Hari Raya like 2 days in
Yeah, 2 days.
Yes,
one
it
after
is.
the
It
other?
is.
But
So the thing
it's,
is,
the date is not really finalized for what I heard.
yeah, because this thing depends on observation of the moon. It's a tradition thing,
But
but
they still can't predict it. It's only next week.
it's max anyway.
One
It's
day.
actually
It's just 1 day different lah. So
Yeah.
so it might
Correct.
be on Monday. So
correct. So yeah
no,
lah.
but generally people just because it's been 2 years since especially the Malay Muslim to
Yeah.
be able to go back home,
Correct.
celebrate it.
Correct.
Yeah.
And also Wednesday is May the 4th.
Yeah, be with you.
Yes. It's Star Wars Day. Then there is six. There is
Unfortunately for me,
events on the
it's gonna be not much on the gaming. I need to go around to do some stuff. Then I have a deadline to catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. Lots of things
I
to.
mean, I do have deadline, but I'm taking it slowly because as it turns out, the Amazon tech review it's a lot of work. If you never do things right in the beginning, because as I discovered, AWS IM is a complicated piece of shit. So just think about user policy is annoying. So for example, if you want to give, as it turns out, enabling multi-factor management for own user is a multi-step process, and the tools have variables, but it doesn't make it easy for you to find the variables. I ends up have to copy and paste the template that AWS provide and copy over, and even that it missed one thing that I need: user access key listing, which is you on AWS. Of course, the user can see their own access code, right? But that didn't happen. So yeah, AWS is they're just switching
something that I'm not sure you guys know about this is that
yeah.
I'll show you guys.
So either way, AWS cloud is about switching goalposts lah, shifting goalposts from one place shift to another. It's so annoying.
So these days is that if I have time, I actually play RPG. So we have this software
Nice.
called Foundry.
Yeah.
So and the software is so good that it is like this. So let me go to. I'm actually hosting it on the Raspberry Pi, but it's actually exposed to the outside. So
Nice. Can I DDoS it?
yeah, try it. It's behind Cloudflare, so have fun. So this is how it works. And
So does it give you the map, or did you design the map?
no, I put it in like but it's the tool is here.
I
So like
see.
also including character
Okay.
sheets. I'm not gonna show some of the. So
Is
like,
it synced to everyone? So everyone updates it, and then they sync through that your server, right?
yeah, it's yep, and it's it is also need to buy once. So the GM buys it normally it is that, and
Nice.
and then and this is like I shared it with a friend because I don't use it all the time. It's only a single session, so it's we are not violating the usage the EULA lah. So another friend who likes to play D&D, he shared and we schedule our session.
Okay, cool.
So this is how it looks
Very
like.
nice.
So support a lot of game system, and it's written in Node.js.
Yep.
So and the modules, these are you can see the modules are literally repository.
Mhm.
So like this game called Mutant Year Zero. So this is the module source code.
Wait,
To
Mutant Year
write
Zero.
modules. Yeah.
Is that something that turned into a PC game?
Yeah, it was turned into a PC game.
Okay.
A few
wait.
of the like Cyberpunk is also originally RPG, and also like the TV series Expanse is also
Yeah,
an
it's
RPG.
originally designed as a game, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to share another tab just because.
So that's my hobby side of things.
So my Hari Raya project, then my recent love for birding, and
But
as it
as
turns
in
out,
giving birth.
looking at birds, and this is why I get this thing. So this is a 70 to 350 lens.
Or 300. Okay, wow.
350, and on a crop lens this is up to this 100 plus to 500 millimeter. So as it turns out, I'm going to show you the difference between the phone and the birds. This is actually, this for example is from the camera. I crop it yet again, which is why you see all the dots, so it's not as clean. It looks good, but it's not as clean. I want to show you. No, not this one. Is it? Wait, let me double check again. So this is actually from the phone. You see that it's comparable, right? But the optic is weird. As in, you will see everything at the back. Whereas if you look at here's a good one now. So this Ninja cat. Okay, it's not my cat. I do not know whose cat is this. So this thing is on a Samsung phone, right? So even though it's like 37 millimeters, so clean, but I think it's digital, but because they got a sensor that read everything.
Oh, man. So
So you see that
yesterday was the World Tapir Day.
Oh, I forgot about that. Damn it. Okay, I'm going to continue. Notice that there's no background separation from the camera phone. Whereas this one, I crop again. There's a background separation. So this is the reason why I get a lens instead of using my phone. Just because.
You know you can do that on your phone as well.
Yeah, there's virtual. There's the virtual.
But
virtual background
the one that is the resolution is high enough for you to be able to crop. So you have
So because what happened is I tried on the phone. I can't crop something so clearly, whereas because I wonder if I can show this. Forget it. My blood pressure. Yeah, don't give me stress. This works, so it's semi-private, so that's fine. This is work, also semi-private, that's fine. Proof that I don't have COVID, so screw you guys. So I want to. So look at here, right? This is the whole thing from phone, right? I'm going to proceed here. So you will not get this even in RAW. That's the main thing about camera, phone camera. So for some reason, even though it's RAW, but it doesn't capture the same thing as a camera. Whereas camera, even though in theory they got lower resolution, but it just don't get the same type of detail when cropping. So it's something that I still try to understand. But yeah, bird watching. As I say, this place and my home is still jungle-like to the birds, so they're still here, which is a good thing. It's a good thing for me.
This is a good captcha image, like an "Are you human?" check. Like click all of the birds. Like where's the bird?
Yes. Let me find the one that I have. So see here, this is actually from phone. It is capable. It's just that it doesn't do separation. This is from the camera. Ta-da! So this is some crop and all that. Random thing swimming blue. Stop sharing.
So I was learning at the comments, like you were talking about the device for automating counting of iron fillers,
Yep.
right? Can you do that? Like you have a recording and then you just splice out all of the ahs and the ums, and then use machine learning to like, do that. So
Remember
the
the
next
demo?
time you count it.
Remember Edge Impulse that I talked about last time?
Yeah.
It's essentially you're describing the process.
Yeah. So will you be able to make one like that?
Yeah, it's easy. I just need
Yeah,
to have
because-
enough.
Yeah. So when we receive our like Studio BLE things, yeah, we can try it out. I think that one is capable of machine learning with TensorFlow.
Yeah. So I have those. The microcontroller, the cell service, the cell device that are coming, that I actually bought, is TinyML compatible and is usable on Edge Impulse when I last checked. So it's an experiment that we will try. Then we would I would just hang it down somewhere and see how many is within this.
Well, we need to train it, right, with natural speech. So you probably need to record a lot of voice, and then just like what they call
actually,
Or just do a counter.
splice this out. Yeah.
I can one up there. I can actually see if public data set have this. If they
I don't
have,
think
then I just
it's
use
as
it.
effective with your own voice, right? Like if you have we have DevKami recordings, we have all of these like recordings of our old stuff. Then we can just like
Oh, I actually, that might be a fun project for me to try out when I'm free.
Deep learning is about generalization.
No, not,
so either
not
way,
really
it's a
on
good
that.
experiment
It's,
to try out.
basically on the audio processing. Since recently I'm going back to learn C++ for fun again.
Yeah. So yeah, it's an experiment. We should try it. We should really try it. I think if anything, it'll be interesting. So yeah, that's DevKami today, and it's effectively the final. Okay, so the final week of fasting.
Have a fun week.
Yeah.
It is the final week. Oh, it is not. It's a Tuesday. If it's it's Raya is the first day, then Tuesday. Yeah. Technically, next week there are still 1 or 2 days of fasting.
Correct. Jason, that's evil. I will do it.
We can, yeah. We just have like a counter, an LED counter, and then the candidate does not know what it actually is.
Yeah.
Until the
In
end,
fact,
actually.
talk about project that it's too late for me to do during this Raya. So remember that Citron had a soil moisture sensor, right? So one thing that I'm thinking that is very easy to do is remember that on the M5 stack I make a face and a sound and a voice synthesis.
Do you still have the air quality sensor?
Yes.
Yeah, probably should be. I probably should resume.
So talk about the air quality sensor. So I bought the daughter board to put the cell in, and the reason is the daughter board contains the connector, and more importantly, it had a built-in OLED screen, so I can write code to demo that as part of Project Sensor 2. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
I'm guilty about it as well. Like
that's evil. I will definitely do it, Jason. I will definitely do it. So with that said, have a good long holiday.
Yep.
Yes.
Enjoy
if you build
it.
anything interesting, tell us. I want to know.
And
but if you build something that launch firecrackers and fireworks, that's illegal.
Even better, if you got the license.
Yes, if it's licensed, I want to know. If you pretend to have license, I won't check.
Yeah. At one time, I was reading a lot about pyrotechnics, but it's something that I read for fun. It's not something I really want to do.
Correct. So good night. Have a long holiday.
Yeah.
Bye. See you next week.
Bye.